Hello boxing fans, good evening and welcome back to Andy's Cavern. Just for some boxing bits and bobs tonight. How you all doing out there? All good, I hope? No suffering too many hangovers from the new year? No, sure you're alright. I hope so anyway. So what's going on? What's going on in boxing? I'm hearing that Bricktop, Frank Warren's going to be suing Chris Eubank Jr. for something to do with this. Remember he called everybody scumbags. Frank Warren's a scumbag, and he was calling Eddie Hearn's a scumbag, and he was calling everybody scumbags, wasn't he? Chris Eubank Jr. for something to do with promotional deals, and he even Calla Sowland, he called him a scumbag for having him in some slave contract deal or something. Eddie Hearn for trying to get him in with Benn when he knew he was on failed drugs test, wasn't he? So he was just calling everybody scumbags, wasn't he? All the promoters, except Turki Al Sheikh. But I thought Turki Al Sheikh had quashed all this legal proceedings and that. So I don't know. Is it a tactic to manoeuvre Eubank maybe against Bricktop's fighter Hamza Shiraz, because he was shouting it, how do you not fight Hamza Shiraz, when Eubank was calling him a scumbag, wasn't he? So Bricktop was getting well annoyed, wasn't he? Getting well revved up. So is that happening, or is it a tactic, or is it just hot air? We'll have to wait and see, won't we? We'll have to wait and see. Wladimir Klitschko, is he coming back? Is he not coming back? If he comes back, who's he going to fight? If he wants to be the oldest world champion, he's got to get himself in contention, doesn't he? So who's he going to fight? Who's he going to fight in the top 10? My top 10 was, got it written down here somewhere. A recent top 10. Well, you've got Usyk at the top. He's not going to fight him, I don't believe. Daniel Dubois. That's too dangerous a fight for him to come back to, isn't it? He's got to come back against somebody to sharpen his skills up. Alec Krashik, Usyk's promoter. I remember hearing somebody asking him about Vladimir Klitschko coming back, and he says Vladimir Klitschko has never missed a training session in the past 7 years since he got beat by Anthony Joshua, and he almost beat Anthony Joshua. Couldn't finish him, could he? Or he took his foot off the gas for a bit and thought he'd get him later on, and didn't happen, did it? So, which is probably Anthony Joshua's best win. But to say he's never missed a training session, so he's always obviously disciplined, and he's kept himself in shape. But that doesn't mean he's ring sharp, does it? He's going to have to sharpen his skills up, and be it in sparring or take fights against lesser people. Anybody that's come back successfully has always come back with a number of low-key fights, haven't they? Apart from Sugar Ray Leonard, he'd come in, didn't he? He'd come in after no fighting for a few years and go straight in and get at the top. But I feel he needs to earn his place, so he needs to fight some top 10 contenders. But who's he going to fight? You've got Hrgovic, Fabio Wardley. This is my top 10, so not necessarily the top 10 that he'll be rated on. I've got Wardley at 10, Hrgovic at 9, Joshua at 8, Kabayel at 7, Martin Bakole at 6, Zili Zhang at 5, Fury at 4, Joseph Parker at 3, Daniel Dubois at 2, and Usyk at 1, obviously, being the man who's completed boxing, but looks like he's going to carry on, isn't it? So, but I think he's still in good shape, Usyk, so he will carry on for a while longer. But I can't see Vladimir Klitschko beating Usyk, so I don't see him fighting him. I think he's going to hope the titles get splintered and then he can pick up a title somewhere along the line. But looking at that top 10, I don't know who he could beat. I don't believe he'd beat Dubois at this stage. It'd be interesting to see, if he'd have to obviously get himself in shape and fighting shape. It'd be interesting to see how he'd get on in rematches against Joshua and Fury, because they're not the fighters well either, are they? So with Joshua, I think it's more a mental thing. Maybe his punch resistance is gone as well, but then Dubois is a big puncher, isn't he? Dubois is possibly one of the hardest punchers in the heavyweight division, isn't he? So Fury's not what he was, but if you look at their two last performances, you've got to say Fury performed better in his last fight than Joshua performed in his last fight. But I also heard that they're going to be fighting on 26th April. Now, whether that's right or not, I've heard that, but time will tell. I don't know if that'll be out in Saudi or it'll be at Wembley, possibly Wembley, on a Riyadh season card. So, who's going to win that one? That's we'll do a proper prediction near the time, but if you go on both the last performances, you've probably got to lean a wee bit towards Fury, I would say. I think Joshua's got the physicality to do it, but has he got the mindset? Fury used to be the master of mind games until he came up against Usyk, and he's got the impenetrable mind, doesn't he? His head's like a safe, isn't it? You can't get into his head. So, but I feel he could get inside Joshua's head. Oh, he's got a better chance of getting inside Joshua's head than inside Usyk's. So we shall wait and see. But that's probably an intriguing fight. I mean, Joshua's got the big punch, so Fury can be hurt. Well, they can both be hurt, can't they? But I don't think Fury doesn't punch anything like as hard as Dubois, I wouldn't imagine. So it will be intriguing, but it's a fight that should have happened probably 5 years ago, isn't it? So it's another one of these fights that have passed the sell-by date, isn't it? But at least we'll get it, it looks like, anyway. Not like Lennox Lewis and Riddick Bowe. That was a missed opportunity, wasn't it? That would have been a cracking fight. I think that was Bowe's fault. I think Lewis wanted to fight Bowe, didn't he? But Bowe famously dumped the WBC belt in the waste bin. But I think he sneaked back after the photo was taken and fished out again. But I think that might have been due with I think he had a manager guy. What was his name? Was it Rock Newman or somebody like that? He was a bit of a character, wasn't he? I'm sure he. And actually pulled one of Bowe's opponents over the top rope in one of the fights. I can't remember who it was off the top of my head, but something sticks in my head. Rock Newman going up and pulling the opponent over the rope, much the same way as Ben Whittaker and Liam Cameron were over the top rope, but it was just Bowe's opponent were over, it wasn't him as well, but he pulled them over the top rope, and it's just chaos, but so maybe he was instrumental in the Lewis fight not happening. Junior Witter and Ricky Hatton, that should have happened as well, but I don't think Hatton wanted that, did he? I think Witter could even made him look silly at times, I would have thought. Hatton was a good fighter, but Witter was a box of tricks, wasn't he? And he did well, Witter, winning a world title. I remember seeing him fighting Zab Jura at Hampden on Mike Tyson undercard, and he gave a good account of himself. I think he was fairly early in his career at that point. I'm not sure, and he maybe took the fight at short notice, but he gave a good account of himself against Zab Jura. Went the distance, lost on points, but I seem to remember he did quite well. So that's what's possibly happening coming up. I haven't heard any more about the Benn Eubank Jnr fight, though I think Russ was saying it was a a done deal again, but is it a done deal? When is a done deal a done deal? Or when it's not a done deal? Who knows? We'll wait and see. Watch this space, as they say. So, so that's all for tonight, guys. Just a wee short one there. Just a few bits and bobs of what's going on. We'll see what happens. See what happens in the Bricktop files if he sues Eubank or not, or what happens. But if that is right, I don't think Turkey Al Sheikh will be too impressed about that. But maybe he'll put a stop to it and find a solution. He's like the man in, what is it, Winston Wolfe in Pulp Fiction. He solves problems. If in doubt, call Turkey Al Sheikh. The wolf of boxing. Anyway, that's all for tonight, guys. And don't forget, boxers in need. All for a good cause. And till the next time, take care and we'll see you soon. Okay, guys, all the best. Cheers.